Do you have a business that serves your local community? Are you trying to take your business to the next level? Do you struggle to understand your business numbers? Well, stop working harder thinking you're going to make more money. That's not how it works. Each week, we go over how to understand and leverage your business numbers to not only create more sales, but more importantly, how to create more profits. Remember, it isn't about how much you sell. It's about how much you keep at the end of the day. My name is Tammy, and I'm on a mission to help badass business owners like yourself put more money in your pocket. So whether you're a badass or a badass in the making, let's get this party started. Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. Today, I want to talk about something that I think we don't talk about enough out there. And it is something that just helps you be a better leader for your company, a better leader when it comes to interacting with your customers, and a better leader if you have employees for sure. A lot of times we want to talk about, the getting in deep and dirty, how to make that business, create those sales, profits, all these different things. But leadership is one of those things that actually will, in the long run and over time, provide you the most consistent growth when it comes to sales and profits. Because it's one thing to know how to do something. It's another thing to be able to have the ability to maneuver through people to get it done. Because let's face it, our business is nothing without people. Not just employees. Yes, we need our employees are the most important thing we have to because they interact with the customers and everything else. But you also deal with people when you're dealing with any vendors or anybody that helps you out. You also deal with customers every single day, right? Let's face it, for the majority of us, what we provide goes to a human being, to a person. Or even if we do it to something that is not a human being, there's a human being behind it, an owner, if you will. For example, let's say you fix laptops. There's still a human being at the other end of it. If you groom dogs, you might love it because you get to be immersed in dogs. But at the same time, they do have owners who can drive you absolutely batty. So no matter what, we have to deal with people on one level or another. And unfortunately, there are a lot of folks out there who just aren't fans of people. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad business owners. They're very good at what it is that they do. But unfortunately, they're never able to grow and expand the business because of the fact that they're not fans of people. Now, don't get me wrong. I joke around all of the time that retail would be great if it wasn't for the people. Customer service would be great if it wasn't for the people. I've definitely, through the years, have had my love-hate relationship with dealing with the public since I've been doing it forever and a day. There are some people out there that are just not nice. They're just rotten. They just want to take advantage of you. They're just, they're just lazy. They just don't want to do anything. They just want to be mean for the sake of being mean. I can give you a laundry list of all of the different types of people we hate to deal with, both employees, vendors, and customers. But at the same time, we have to realize that the vast majority of the people we deal with are not like that at all. It's just that, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, if you will, gets the grease, whatever the saying is. We tend to remember the ones that are the extremes, and we give them a little bit too much credence and credit in our life. But what I want to talk about is more of the fact that one of the mistakes that we tend to make is we think everybody needs to bend to us, that this is how we are, they better get over it, this is how I run my business, this is how I talk to people, this is how I do things. And if any of that sounds familiar, it's something you need to sit up and listen to. Because here's the thing. Honestly, as a business owner and as a leader, you're the one that has to do the majority of the flexing. I'm going to say that again. As the business owner and the leader of your business, you are the person that needs to flex to the other individuals. Now, some people might want to disagree with me, but I'm telling you, they're also inflexible. All right. But here's the thing. People come in all different shapes and sizes and thoughts and everything else. There's all kinds of different studies out there that'll tell you that people are one of 4 types or one of 5 types or whatever the case may be. What you have to do is just just understand that when something's not working and it's not jiving with the customer. Have you ever had that? Like there's certain types of people that you gel with really well and you tend to get things done. More than likely, you're very similar to each other. And that's probably why. Whereas somebody who's the complete opposite of you, you tend to butt heads with. So for example, if you are a very analytical, systematic individual, free spirits, people that kind of just go with the flow, seat of their pants, drive you absolutely batty. But at the same time is somebody who is flighty and go by the seat of their pants, people that are very systematic and box checkers and rules, they don't get along with them either. All right. People that just like to get crap done can't stand with people who overthink what it is that they need to do. If somebody who wants to, let's just do it. And then there's somebody on the other end that says, well, how's this going to make people feel? I don't understand. Wait a minute, slow down. We have to know what they think. Okay. Once again, feelers versus drivers is going to give you something different. Same thing the other way. If somebody who cares about the way it's going to impact people and how it's going to make them feel, they don't want to rush in to get things done. So you can see why there's so many opposites to different styles. But as the leader, this is where your flexibility comes in. Let's just say you go into a relationship or you're working with an employee, you're working with the vendor, you're working with the customer, and you go in your normal way. But all of a sudden you start sensing that there's conflict, that you're butting heads, that they're not listening. You're the one that in your head, you have to make the adjustment. So for example, if you're talking to a customer and you're just kind of skimming over the details, but yet they keep asking 50 million questions, well, that's your first clue that you have somebody that is an analytical individual and they need all of those answers. So you need to slow down and start checking those boxes for them, because if you slow down and start checking those boxes for them, you're going to get their business. Okay. And it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them wrong. It just makes them different. The way they process is different from the way that you do. Same thing on the other end. If you're one of those people that go into a meeting with a customer and you're giving them every little detail in the world and they're rolling their eyes and they're antsy and they're moving around and they're kind of, moving their hands quite a bit, they probably want you to get to the point because they don't care about all that. They just want to know, do you solve this? Can you solve this problem? If you can solve this problem, just tell me you're going to solve the problem and go solve the problem. That's a driver. That's somebody who just wants to get it done. Okay. They don't care about all of the little things that you're going to do along the way to get there. So once again, you're the one that has to flex. Same thing with your employees. Your employees all respond differently to different things. They're all motivated by something different. You have to be able to flex and maneuver as to what that is. Some people are motivated by pats on the back. Some people are motivated by they need that cheerleader, rah, rah, rah. Some people need you to get out of their face and leave them alone. Everybody's different. You as the leader have to say, okay, this is what I need to do to get the most out of this employee. If you're talking with the vendor and you're trying to get the best pricing, you know what? What's going to work? If you're just telling them they have to give you the best price, a lot of them are going to say, I don't think so. You know what? Sometimes you have to break it down for them. Sometimes you have to explain to them how it makes you feel. Once again, everybody's different. Now, I will tell you that most people fall into one of four types of individuals, and I've kind of been talking about them. Now, that doesn't mean everybody fits in there, and it doesn't mean that somebody's not part of all of them. It doesn't mean that somebody shares qualities with somebody else, but basically, you're going to have your feelers, you're going to have your analytical people, you're going to have your drivers to get things done, and you're going to have your expressive individuals who, it's kind of funny because an expressive individual is somebody who's a little bit of both. They're kind of like a driver. They want to get stuff done, but at the same time, they want to rah, rah, rah cheerlead to get people going. Does that kind of make some sense? Okay. So everybody's a little bit different. I talk a little bit about this. I think in a past episode where I wrote this little book one time about using an amusement park as an example of how people grow up, because really we're kind of wired a certain way. And the way that we're wired is how we grow up to be an adult. And I use as an example of somebody in a amusement park ride where you got the cars, you get behind the cars and you drive, because everybody drives a little bit differently. There's people that try to race through. There's people that try to hop the car off of it. There's people that just want to never touch it. The perfectionists, as I call them. So everybody, but when they grow up, they kind of become the same way, because if somebody's reckless as a kid, they're going to more than likely be reckless as an adult. If somebody's an emotional child, they're going to be an emotional adult. And so you've got to understand that people are wired the way they are. You're not going to change them. All right, so the more that you go in trying to change the people in your relationship, the people in your business, the less likely you are to be successful doing it. So the whole point of this particular episode is I want you to start paying attention, that every time that you feel that friction between you and your employees, or friction between you and your customers, or whoever you have to deal with, ask yourself, is it because you're not flexing to the situation, to that individual, to understanding what their needs are, and so that you can meet those needs? And if their needs need to be met by you showing that you care, then you show that you care. If it is by getting to the point, then get to the point. If it's by slowing down and explaining the process more, then slow down and explain the process more. Here's the thing. You will always be successful if you're good at what you do, but you will never attain the amount of success you're capable of. Okay? So yes, could you not do this and still be successful? Yeah. Okay, it's all relative to what you consider to be success. But if you want to be known as the best and you want to grow a fantastic business and continue to do it, then you're going to have to figure out, how do you flex to doing that? And it's not just a whole introvert, extrovert kind of situation. I joke around with people and they don't believe me, but I'm an introvert, but I play an extrovert at work. I have to be able to be that person and to play that role when I'm out and about, but I still will recharge my batteries. And if given the opportunity, I'm not going to be the one that's out there shaking hands, kissing babies and stuff like that. If you go someplace and we run into each other somewhere, the odds are you're going to have to introduce yourself to me versus me to you, just because that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired. But if I know I'm in a situation that in order to make something happen, then yeah, I have to force myself to go do that. It's just a matter of how bad do you want it? Okay. Do you have to do it? No. Are you stupid not to do it? Kinda. All right. It just really just depends on what it is that you want to try to get. So my goal is not to rattle on about this too long. I just really want you guys to, I just keep having these conversations with some people that they just keep saying, well, they need to understand, they need to change. No, they don't need to do anything. Okay. They're paying you to do something. So they don't have to change. You either choose to work with them, not work with them, or you choose to adapt so that you can make the most out of that relationship. So I want to make sure that you get rid of, as a business owner, and really in life, but as a business owner, you need to get rid of, well, they need to whatever. They're not going to. They are who they are. Either you want their business, you don't want their business, you walk away, you don't walk away, but you're the one that has to adapt, because the sooner and the easier that you adapt, you're going to find that your life is 10 times easier. Okay. It takes practice. You're not going to be great at it, but you're going to get better and you're going to get better. And matter of fact, if you go have a conversation with someone who's been in business for a really long time, they're going to tell you stories about how they didn't adapt early on, but then they slowly figured out how to do it. And if you don't believe me, think about a time when you were with somebody and they maneuvered through a difficult situation and you were just like in awe going, oh my God, how did you do that? And they probably laughed and they go, you kind of learned how to do it. That's them learning how to flex. That's them telling you that I learned that my approach, my way of doing it wasn't working, and I had to change how I approached that situation in order for it to have a positive outcome. And that's really what this is all about. You have to learn how to adjust yourself to the situation, how to learn how to adjust yourself to the person, and how to get the most out of it. Because the longer you continue to fight, the longer it's going to take to execute and get it done. The sooner you learn how to flex and adjust to the situation, the sooner you get in, you get out, and the sooner that you get the success that you're looking for. So that's what I want to talk about. I want some of you guys to resonate with this and to ask yourself, next time you're in a situation where you are butting heads, having a conflict, ask yourself, what can you do to flex to understand and hear this person, or to help them better connect to you? And it's all about you flexing, because they're not going to do it. All right. All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. By the way, for those of you that are looking for to better understand your business numbers, you're kind of going, okay, I'm looking at this stuff. It still looks like a bunch of gobbledygook on the piece of paper, but I know I need to understand my P&L. I have been working on a different guide. I have the one guide that I did, but I kind of wanted to expand on a little bit more. I wrote a blog post that kind of breaks down the P&L a little bit better. And then I actually put a little guide and put it into an e-guide so that somebody could have it. So if you're interested in that, just look in the show notes. I haven't created it yet, but I'll create it after this episode. But there's a little guide that you can go ahead and get to, and it'll be over on the Local Small Business Coach website. All right, with that, I am out of here. Go out there, go learn how to flex to your employees, to your customers, to your vendors, and you remember, you're trying to fill their needs and to help make sure that your relationship is strong, and you're going to do that by being flexible. All right, with that, I am out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now. Hey, before you go, if you're looking to learn more about your business numbers, then check out the Know Your Business Numbers course, where we take a deeper dive into the key numbers, the calculations, the reports that will help you take your business to the next level. My mission is to help everyone love their business numbers. Yes, even including those of you that hate math. So much profit is hidden inside of your business numbers, and I want you to create some awesome profits. So check out the link in the show notes or head on over to the knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Once again, knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Come join me. Let's go ahead and work on building your profits.